Good afternoon. This hearing is called to order. I apologize that we are slightly delayed. We had a series of votes on the Senate floor, but it is good now to convene the hearing. Let me begin by thanking all of you for attending and thanking Senator Hirono for working with me and my staff to convene this hearing and bring these witnesses together. The topic before us is one I believe of great importance: the need for term limits for members of Congress so that we can begin to fix what is broken here in Washington politics. Before I introduce our first panel, I'd like to explain why we've organized today's hearing. The 2016 election, the American people made a resounding call to drain the swamp that is modern Washington. And sadly, this is a bipartisan problem. The American people have lost confidence in Washington, and especially in Congress. And it isn't hard to see why. Enmeshed in backroom deals and broken promises, our capital has too often become a political playground for the powerful and the well-connected, for members of the permanent political class looking to accumulate more and more power at the expense of American taxpayers. As part of his promise to drain the swamp, President Trump strongly endorsed and campaigned on passing congressional term limits. Though our founders didn't include term limits in the Constitution, they feared the creation of a permanent political class that existed parallel to rather than within American society. As Benjamin Franklin observed, quote, "In free governments, the rulers are the servants, and the people their superiors. For the former, therefore, to return among the latter was not to degrade, but to promote them." The fears of the framers have today been realized. Today, the swamp is hard at work picking winners and losers, with hardworking Americans typically winding up on the losing end. Every year, Congress spends billions of dollars on giveaways for the well-connected. Washington insiders get taxpayer money, members of Congress get reelected, and the system works for everyone except the American people. This kind of self-interest builds on itself as members spend more and more time in office. In an age in which the partisan divides seem intractable, it is remarkable that public support for congressional term limits remains strong across party lines. In poll after poll conducted over decades, Americans who are Republicans, who are Democrats, who are independents, Americans who are conservatives, who are liberals, who are moderates, who are men, who are women, who are Anglo-American, who are African-American, who are Hispanic, all support term limits by overwhelming margins. For example, a 2018 McLaughlin & Associates poll found that 82% of Americans support term limits for Congress, including 89% of Republicans, but also 76% of Democrats support term limits.